to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below. Now, before we get started, I just want to state that these are allegations. These are very damning allegations, but they are still allegations nonetheless, without any type of real substantial proof that everybody can clearly see or without any type of trial taking place. Shocking sexual allegations are emerging from a reported diary of Ashley Biden, President Joe Biden's daughter. According to the DailyMail.com, Ashley Biden, who is a drug addict, left her personal diary under a mattress in Palm Beach, Florida, in a halfway house where she stayed during a rehab stint. The diary reportedly details her drug abuse, sex addiction, and her being hypersexualized. Ashley Biden also recounts times she showered with her father when she was young. Something she allegedly wrote was, quote, probably not appropriate. The diary reportedly came to light after a Florida woman who stayed in the room Ashley Biden vacated at the halfway house discovered it back in 2020 and then sold it for 40 grand to a media organization, Project Veritas. The woman, Amy Harris, is being investigated by the FBI regarding her involvement with the diary, which the outlet states the Bidens allegedly reported stolen in a burglary. Project Veritas founder James O'Keefe and one of his journalists were targeted by federal agents who reportedly raided their homes back in November of 2021 searching for Ashley Biden's diary, which they reportedly stated was stolen. The Daily Mail also states that the New York Times confirmed that the Ashley Biden diary is authentic after the newspaper, quote, reported a Justice Department probe over the diary in November of 2021. Harris allegedly circulated the diary at a Republican conference, and a right-wing website published it less than 2 weeks before the 2020 presidential election. The report went largely unnoticed. In her diary, quote, the president's own daughter believes his alleged showering with her could have helped create her sexual addiction. The outlet states that Ashley Biden also reportedly writes about her financial troubles, stating that she was down to the wire. She also wrote that President Joe Biden was reduced to tears due to worrying about her addiction and multitudes of trouble. The Daily Mail infers from Ashley Biden's diary that she may have been abusing drugs as she campaigned for her father during his presidential campaign back in 2019. Ashley Biden also recounts alleged sexual abuse by a family member, according to an alleged entry in her diary. Quote, I've always been boy crazy, hypersexualized at a young age. I remember somewhat being sexualized with a family member. I remember having sex with friends at a young age. Showering with my dad, probably not appropriate. Ashley Biden is President Joe Biden's youngest daughter and his only child with First Lady Jill Biden. His son, Hunter Biden, is infamous for his alleged sex and drug addictions, as chronicled in a laptop he left behind at a computer repair shop. According to multiple reports, the laptop allegedly shows Hunter Biden engaging in sex acts, drug abuse, and contains documents about his family's business deals. Reports state that President Joe Biden has been criticized for inappropriate touching, including by former Nevada State Assemblywoman Lucy Flores. His former Senate staffer, Tara Reid, has also claimed that Joe Biden sexually assaulted her back in 1993, according to the New York Post. No charges were filed in either incident.
Another one.
Florida residents have pled guilty in a scheme to peddle a diary and other items stolen from President Joe Biden's daughter to conservative group Project Veritas for $40,000. Amy Harris and Robert Kurlander sought to profit from their theft of another person's personal property. Harris, a 40-year-old from Palm Beach, and Kurlander, age 58, near Jupiter, faced the possibility of up to 5 years in prison. They pled guilty to conspiracy to transport stolen property across state lines. Harris's lawyer, Sam Talkin, stated that, quote, she has accepted responsibility for her actions and looks forward to moving on with her life. Authorities did not identify anyone in the case except for the defendants. The details of the investigation have been made public for months. Ashley Biden, the president's daughter, was moving out of a friend's Delray Beach, Florida home in spring of 2020 when she stored the diary and other belongings there. They also stated that Harris then moved into the same room, found the items, and got in touch with Kurlander, who stated in a text message that he would help her make a ton of money from selling it, adding an expletive before a ton. I'm just going to reiterate this. These are the allegations, the things that are alleged, right, about the diary. But this is the problem. Right now, the main thing that I am going to tell people here is that when people decide to look at this and they want to encompass this, like, yo, who were the individuals that decided to vote for this guy, who put this guy into office? People are going to look at black women. Because if you go all the way back to the very first part of the election, black women were the main ones saying that, hey, we were the grassroots, we were the ones that were backing up Biden, we were the one putting up poster boards, letting our families know, getting people out there to the polls, representing and different things of this nature. And this is the thing that I try to tell people before, that you have to be very careful of the decisions that you make, because even if you make a good decision, right, you have the great chance of, like, hey, yeah, I did this, like, give me my flowers, whatever it is. But if you make a decision that you felt was good and then some stuff came out later on that ended up looking a little bit sideways, you also have to take that directly on the chin as well. And this is what, I tried to tell people a little bit before when it came to voting and selecting. As I heard a lot of people in the comment section and directly on my IG, people said, lesser of the two evils. Other people basically said we had no other choice. Other people basically said he was the best candidate, different things of this nature. um, I'm just looking at it like this, right? We can just so happen to say a lot of things. Let's just go back to, let's say, Obama. We can say a lot of things, right? But when it deals with family ordeals and things just in a disarray, that was not it. That was not it. That was pretty much a nuclear cohesive unit that was well oiled. Nobody was pretty much out of place. The most that they stated was like, oh, they spotted one of the daughters smoking. That was the biggest thing that people tried to really blow out of proportion. The main people blowing it out of proportion when it dealt with Obama are some of the main ones who are a part of the opioid epidemic, where their families are strung out, they're in rehab, and all of these other types of things, right? But in this instance, when it deals with Biden, both of his kids, they are going through, drug habits. They have to go through rehab and different things like that, and it's not looking too good. It is not looking too good. I'll say this: if I was the PR, right, when it came through to Biden, this would be a very good use example of the face of America and the epidemic, and how it is that, as quote unquote Americans, right, people should face the problem head on, no matter how difficult it may be. And he could easily flip this for good publicity. He could, showcase, his kids basically before, be open and honest and direct about it, which a lot of people would technically feed into and love because they have family going through the exact same thing. And they would also find some comfort, empathy, and be able to sympathize with the president and his family. And basically openly talk about it, and maybe if they want to directly have them, coming out and saying that they have an addiction or whatever it is, which is the first step, and then have them going out there and receiving the treatment and the help, and then showing the during stages, and then the after. Like I said before, there's a multitude of ways that this can actually um transition into good PR, but I am not sure who at the White House is running this at the moment in time, who is running, the defense, because they're doing a piss poor job. Let me tell you, that's a very piss poor job, at this moment in time. And the main thing that I've stated to people before is that when it comes to a nation and other nations are looking at this nation, if they see any type of weakness, right? If they see any type of dent in the armor, people are going to pounce, people are going to attack. And nobody wants to be a part of a kingdom where the king is appearing weak and not able to project that type of strength that a leader should, right? And for all intents and purposes, this is a weakness. This is not, in a sense, giving off that strength because these issues, the things that are being, put out there to the public, they're not being taken head on. They're being, in a sense, deflected. They're being dodged. They're being swept under the rug, and that's not good in general. Because if it comes to a re-election, people are going to look at this, and people are going to look at how situations like this were managed. People are going to look at the situations dealing with stuff overseas. They're going to deal with the jobs. They're going to look at the debt. They're going to deal with people who have college debt and, you know, um, going into, in a sense, a second recession, different things of that nature. People are going to look at everything and encompass that, and they're going to try to figure out, do we really want this man to represent us again after we've already seen the previous 4 years? I'm pretty sure people are going to go with whoever the second person is. And it, like I said, it is what it is.